Hello everyone. Yesterday I did a Instagram and Facebook live takeover with Breedlove Guitars. That's the brand of the guitar that I play. And it went well, enjoyed it, and I also filmed it on a separate camera horizontally for YouTube. So I hope you enjoy. Obviously I'm not talking to you guys in the comments. Sorry, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll answer it later. And hope you enjoy. Hello! I am the February featured artist for Breedlove. Thanks for everybody joining us on Instagram. I'm not sure how to check who joins on Facebook. I have Facebook on. Thank you very much, Jehu. Yeah, so I have no idea who's joining us on Facebook, but I can clearly see, obviously I use Instagram more, so I can see there's actual people here. Hello, Gustavo. So I figured what I would do during this time is just kind of hang out with you guys, tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Connor Cherland. I live in Santa Barbara, California, and I've been playing music full-time as a job for like 3 years now, a little over 3 years, and it's a really weird job. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's also really cool. It's like giving me a relationship with Breedlove, and Breedlove is like the very first guitar I ever really owned. Before that, I owned this like tiny, it was like a 3/4 size guitar, and it was this kind that would always go out all the time. It would go out of tune. It was like a really, really high action guitar, so yeah, it was just hard to hold down chords, and anytime you put a capo on it, you had to retune. Thanks, Jehu. So glad you've been checking out my music. Feel free to, as you guys are reading along, to comment. Otherwise, I'll just make this a long monologue. So if you guys have any questions about what it's like being a full-time musician, how I got into it, my age, I look incredibly young, any of that kind of stuff, feel free to reach out. Yeah, so I got into this about 3 years ago. I was playing like breweries and wineries while I was working my day job. So I would like work and build websites for property managers throughout the day, and then in the night I would do music gigs. And yeah, Breedlove Guitars are what I've been doing it on. It was the only guitar I had, so it made sense to reach out to them. I was like, hey, would you guys be willing to sponsor me? I've been doing this for a very long time, only using your guys' guitars. So like all my pictures, all my videos were all with their guitars already. So yeah, so I figured I could also play a little bit here. I got my 2 guitars over here. I set up my little loop station below. Whoa! Set up my little loop station here below. Have to make sure that doesn't happen again. Yep. Wade's just yucking it up, aren't you, Wade? Okay. Thanks. Hopefully that doesn't pop out again. I'm like kind of worried that it will. Yeah, so I'd be happy to play for you guys a little bit. Most of what I do is a lot of like long gigs. How did you get sponsored by Breedlove? Great question. Like I just said, I play their guitars exclusively. I play 3 to 6 gigs every week, and I've been doing that for 3 years. Because I used to work in tech, and then once I made the switch, I needed to play gigs in order to make money. And yeah, so I just started playing 3 to 6 gigs a week. I play my new one. You're entirely right, Corey. I'm shocked that you remembered that. Corey, how did you remember that? Where are you at? I wrote a new song like a few weeks ago, and he even remembers the name. That's impressive. Were you at the Brown Owl? I was in Bend, Oregon, where Breedlove is based. Oh, that was at Crow's Feet. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I came up to Bend, Oregon last week, and got to pick up this guitar. I chose this one. This is a part of the new Organic series. I love him a lot. He's a giant. Like, that's a pretty giant size guitar for my body. I love this little like birthmark, because I have these little birthmarks on my thumb. And so I just love things with birthmarks. Yeah, so I got this guy. But yeah, I'd be happy to play that song. This is a song I wrote about my wife. I've been married now 3 years. I quit my job. I quit my tech job, and I became a full-time musician within the same month. And writing songs, like writing love songs, is actually kind of hard, because a lot of what you can say is really cliche and trite, and I want to avoid doing that. But this is one I wrote for my wife, and it's about how when you're dating someone, or when you're in love, or you're married to somebody, you are late to a lot more things. That's just kind of the price you pay. But I would prefer to be late to a lot of things than to be without her. So here's that song. It's called Darlin'. It's not out anywhere, because I just wrote it a couple weeks ago. Open up my heart and crawling where we both belong, my darling. Every part of me's excited, waiting for my sweet, my darling. Boo on the balcony, covered in towels. Better get dressed, breakfast in an hour. Say you'll be ready in time. Once the time passes, I tell you it's fine. I'd rather be late than on time on my own. It's better late by your side than leave here alone. Open up my heart and crawling where we both belong, my darling. Every part of me's excited, waiting for my sweet, my darling. And this is supposed to be a duet, so this is when the girl comes in. Boy, in the study, you've been judging me quiet. Hates the interruption, I can tell that you like it. Say you'll be working tonight. Once the time passes, I tell you it's fine. I'd rather you late than not hear you call. Better late by your side than not here at all. Open up my heart and crawling where we both belong, my darling. Every part of me's excited, waiting for my sweet, my darling. Open up my heart and crawling where we both belong, my darling. Every part of me's excited, waiting for my sweet. We could fight all night, we could fight all night, but I'm here in the morning whether or not you like. Boy with the bootstraps lives like a child. Go running late cause she can't pick a style. Boy in the bleacher wanna be famous. Girl only hates cause she know that she ain't us. But I only want you and nobody else. It's better fighting with you than fighting by myself. Open up my heart and crawling where we both belong, my darling. Every part of me's excited, waiting for my sweet, my darling. Open up my heart and crawling where we both belong, my darling. Every part of me's excited, waiting for my sweet, sweet. That's that song. Thanks so much, Brian. So some of you asked for my name. I will give it to you. My name is Connor Cherland. Cher like the singer, land like the ground. Connor has an E in it. This is my newest record. It's called Toad Boy. I'll show it over here as well. ConnerCherland. And in case, yeah, you're welcome, Corey. Thanks for asking to hear the song. And in case you didn't know, I am Breedlove's featured artist for February. So last month it was this guy named Chris Arndt. He does amazing music with his sister Jocelyn, and they kill it. And this month is my turn. So I'm here sharing basically anything you want to hear, like how I do looping, how I book gigs. I also have like this little synthesizer over here that like really helps me build in some layers when I'm doing big loops. What else do I do? I do vocal looping. That's why I have this set up over here. Yeah, what else can I tell you about my story? We are not sponsored currently by Fat Tire, however, one day, maybe. You got two of their guitars. I'm so glad that you featured ours as well. And thank you for welcoming me into the family. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about me. I've done in the last 5 years over 700 gigs, and I've written a ton of songs, but I take the best songs and I put them into these little EPs. When I first got my first Breedlove guitar, it was this crazy thing where like within 3 months I was given just a ton of recording equipment and music equipment, and this is the first ever little CD that I made. Connor and his nice friends play music in a musty room. I don't give this out anymore because it's actually bad. Like, it's not exciting. This was just like the first 7 songs I ever wrote. Then I made a challenge for myself to write 40 songs in 6 months. That's where this guy comes from. This one's called Wanting Man. And then in the next year, I did another 40 songs and wrote this guy. This is the Tall Tales album. It has the song called Freedom on it, and that's some people's favorite song. After some more songs, I wrote this guy. It's called The Choices of John Still. It's an album not many people liked. I love it a ton. It was much more like, the other stuff I wrote was like cute stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a whole album that's not cute. It's specifically not cute. And then I kind of went back to cute with this last album, but it's better written. So it gets ascendingly better as you go through all of this. But yeah, one of you asked, is Jehu, do you have a vocal harmony pedal? I do. So the vocal harmony pedal that I have is called the Vocalist by Digitech. I don't recommend it for the following reasons. One, it overheats when it is exposed to sunlight for over 20 minutes. That's a problem because most places you play involve sunlight for more than 20 minutes. So that's a problem, but it was pretty much the entire inspiration for that Blue album I just showed you. And there's a song that I have, there's like every song on that record uses the vocal pedal. So it goes from really beautiful like chorus sounds. Like I'll play you the beginning of one of the songs. Now my child overcome, anything, don't you run through silence glow in the open sea. Pour out wine for the weaver and run for me. So you can have these giant like chorus swells like now my, which is very cool, especially when you like really pump the volume and make it like really reverby in the guitar. That song that I just like hinted was it's called For the Weaver, and it's a song of mine from my third EP. One of the songs that I do, this is the title track. I'll continue to reference it. This is the CD that uses the most vocal pedal. The song I just played is the last one called For the Weaver. This top one, The Choices of John Still, this was like when I first got this pedal, I was just really into making creepy songs, so the vocal pedal was really helpful, because it's got some really cool settings like this. It's like a delay, a little bit of fuzz, and it's also vocally doubled. Oh, come and see the dusty halls of Mrs. Still, the doctor's wife. So you can hear there's like a little bit of reverb, there's like a little bit of delay, and it's also doubling. And so for the chorus, at the very end, I used the octave down function in it, and so it makes it sound even creepier. It's like, don't you question my motive, dear, you more than understand. Never want to work again, baby, one more wolf and then I know. And then for like the crescendo of the song, there's like this, it just goes like between the F sharp minor and the E, and then I just kind of howl for a bit. It's like, so it gets pretty big. There's a lot you can do with the pedal. I've loved it again, but I give a lot of caveats around it overheats, which is an issue. But yeah, it's super fun. The Vocalist by Digitech. Hello, Alpha Mouse Brandon. I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of names, I have a feeling. So that pedal, Vocalist by Digitech, and yeah, I used it to, it just helped me write a lot of songs. There's a feature on it that it allows me to sound like a woman, which is really handy, because it's cheaper than bringing an extra person. But I wrote this song. This is another song off that album. It's called Letters from Emily, and the chorus, with all of my love to see, inside sincerely, in these letters from Emily. And that's how that one works. I would love to play another full song while people keep on like coming in, coming out. I would love to play a song sort of like start to finish. A lot of you have questions about pedals, so I will play one of my songs using almost all of my pedals, as well as this synth on the side. Sorry, I just got a robocall. I will not play Wonderwall, but I appreciate the jab. This song's called Toad Boy, and it's about sort of my process of being a musician and what it's been like. too many times. Swimming's made for fins, so we traded all the lives. 100 pounds for flies, say goodbye to the baggy skin. Freezing cold, the calves for candy, swung with legs that had a different grace about them. Through the haze, a whip like tongue but pray about them and pat the play. And all the friends have to be in clean face, no shave. A better life he's living, no, oh, oh. Till the autumn came and he found himself a falconer to take away predators like me and make marmalade of all hopes and dreams not made for television screens. So he ran to trains and a fight. He spent days in the dark, money at night, singing maybe someday I'll be free. If you wanted a bright side, no, not the one, but I think he's alright. He's getting by. He's getting by. He's getting by. He's getting by. And he's a tall boy in a walrus skin, been told so many times quitters never win, so we traded all the lies. Ooh. So that's Toad Boy. Some of you asked which Breedlove guitar model is this. This is the new, it's from the Organic series. It is the signature Concerto E. It is a not cutaway. I think it's 14 to body, 14 frets to body. Slightly longer than some. Got a cool tapering situation happening here. So it's actually a little bit narrower toward the top of the body compared to the bottom. What else do I love about it? It's sort of this matte finish. It's not like a bright finish. I have another guitar over here with like quite a bright finish, kind of reflective. But yeah, I went up to Bend, Oregon to the actual factory where they get these done, and yeah, just really fell in love with this guy. I've never had like a pale guitar before. My main guitar is a Passport Dreadnought by Breedlove, and it's like dark mahogany all the way around, top and sides. This is a Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides, and yeah, I just love it. I love earth tones, and it's not flashy at all. It's just loud as hell, which is great. Yeah, loved it a lot. What else can I tell you guys? Do you guys have any other questions? Other questions, you know? Was your visit last week? Yeah. So I did a little mini tour from Santa Barbara up to Bend, Oregon and back last week. It was 30 hours of driving in 1 week. I rented a car. It was great. But yeah, played a few house shows in San Francisco, and then a few shows in Bend, and then came right back. So it was like 5 shows in the week, and then I came back here and did more gigs. Mount Sellers, sure. I'd love to play something. I also just finished playing something. So if there's anything in particular you're interested in. Yeah, look at all these questions now. You're staying. Now we're getting a lot of questions. Did you stay with D'Addario? If you mean strings, yes. If you mean tuner, yes. I don't use D'Addario strings all the time. I use elixirs a lot of the time. For me, they just make a little bit less noise when I'm sliding up and down the frets. And what else? Do I ever play Denver? Yes, I do. I was in Denver, not last summer, but the summer previous. I did a Denver, like out to like Utah, Denver, Texas, and back. It was a lot of driving. And then advice for a beginner. Would love to give advice. I mean, it really all depends on like what it is you're interested in doing. When I first started, I was like 10, so I really just wanted to play the Drake and Josh soundtrack. So that's really all I learned was the Drake and Josh soundtrack. Can't guarantee I can. Well, I never thought that it'd be so simple, but I found a way. If you open up, I don't know. If you open up your mind, see what's inside. So I learned the Drake and Josh soundtrack. That was my like first big task, and then it was just like trying to learn to play love songs. And then in high school, I was just interested in impressing girls I knew. And then in college, I was like, man, it's really boring to play the same 4 chords all the time. So then I would just find all the songs that I liked, would look up the chords, and then just practice those chord progressions. So I didn't really like get into any specific like stuff about theory. Like I didn't even start learning theory stuff until 2 years ago, and I still know almost nothing at all. It's been helpful learning piano just so that I understand. So I've been learning, like today I was learning about sus chords. So if you know piano, then you're already much further along than most people. So then it just comes down to like being okay with practicing guitar for long hours and getting the calluses, because you're just gonna have to do it until it hurts, and then you need to stop, and then you need to pick it back up again the next day, do it till it hurts, and then you stop. Eventually you get these calluses. I have these really nasty calluses on like permanent indentations on my left hand, and they snag my wife's clothes all the time and ruin her awesome clothes. So these are the prices we pay, but could be handy. I feel like there was another Question, nearly bought that same guitar. Maybe you should have. Do I have a Facebook or YouTube channel? I do. On Facebook, I'm Connor Cherland. On Instagram, I'm Connor Cherland. On YouTube, I am It's Connor Cherland. I feel like I should have my name behind me because people keep asking me my name during this. But I'll just keep on putting my name up like this. This is how you spell my name, Connor Cherland. Did you ever have to study scales? I study scales now because when I'm doing soloing on this guy, like there's like a few finger exercises that I do. There's like just playing every fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do it backwards. But the key is to do it in time. So you set up a metronome, and then you need to play it to that. Because if you play a solo and you're slightly out of time, it sounds poopy. So there's that. That's not a scale. But I practice there's like a thing called the caged method on guitar, where you realize like within chord shapes, like within the key of G, you can start off just like with the pentatonic scale, and then from there you just kind of learn what chords go into the key and which frets work and which don't. I'm not the expert on anything as it pertains to music theory. I do everything just kind of by ear, and I think my strength comes as a songwriter, and I am currently in the middle of another 40-song challenge where I'm hoping to write 40 songs between December and May, and I'm halfway there, so I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, which is great, and hoping to stay ahead of schedule because I would love to put out new songs starting in the summer, start recording them. What was these other advice for beginner? Okay, great. I think we're caught up on... Oh no, there's a lot of comments. Okay. I'm waiting for my Breedlove guitar here in Venezuela. I really hope it gets there. You use vinegar and water to soak after a long jam. Wow. Never heard of that. Never heard of that at all. Cool, sorry, just going through all this. Does one of your mics have a switch? Yes, my mic has a switch. It has a switch down here, and that's because when I'm playing live, there's normally not people there to, like, I don't know if you play gigs, but most times there's not a sound guy. It's just like your own equipment, or you're plugging into the house equipment, and you don't have somebody to turn your reverb on or off. So right now, check, just a dry microphone. And then if I flip the switch, check, there's the reverb. So it's just like a simple hall reverb at like whatever settings I set it at. And I do that all through the vocalist. So that's, if you don't have a vocal pedal, you're probably fine. But I really like it because I have a need for it all the time. People want to interact with a musician, and if you're talking through a reverbed mic, sometimes they can't understand you. So that's how that works. Cool. How do you guys feel about another song? I'd love to play a cover for you guys, just because we're still getting to know each other. So here's one from Do you guys, this is from the movie Milan. For a long time we've been marching off to battle. In a thundering herd we feel a lot like cattle. To the pounding beat, our aching feet aren't easy to ignore. What do we want? A girl worth fighting for. I want a paler than the moon, with eyes that shine like stars. My gold model and my strength, adore my battle scars. I couldn't care less what she wears, what she looks like. Oh, it all depends on what she cooks like. Beef, pork, chicken, and all the local girls thought you were quite the charmer. And I bet the ladies love a man in armor. You can guess what we miss the most since we went off to war. What do we want? A girl worth fighting for. My girl don't think I have no faults that I'm made to find. How about a girl who's got a brain, who always speaks her mind? My manly ways and turn of phrase, sure to thrill her. He thinks he's such a lady killer. I gotta go back home, she's unlike any other. Oh, but the only girl that I miss is mother. But when we come home from victory, the line out the door. What do we want? A girl worth fighting for. Oh, what do we want? A girl worth fighting for. Oh, what do we want? A girl worth fighting for. I like the beef, pork, chicken emoji. That's a crowd participation, if I've ever seen it. If you guys are just tuning in, hope you're enjoying your Thursday evening. I'd love to keep playing you guys some songs. This is very nice. Normally I'm out like playing a gig, but this way I get to be in my own house, which is very chill. I'll play you guys another song of mine. This one's called Camille. And one time I was playing at a local college, and a girl came up to me afterward and she was like, so I know that you like to write songs, and I've never written a song, but it's my sister's birthday next week, and I was wondering if we could write a song for her together. And I was like, for sure, let's try it. I had never met her sister. I had never met her, so I asked her for a Google document with like memories of her sister, like things she liked about her sister, and then just like links to like family videos that I could watch of like their childhood and their relationship together. And we came up with this song with my buddy Michael Sahlstrom, who's a singer-songwriter up in Occidental, and she helped out too. There's just one line in it where it goes, never traveling alone, I always have you by my side. And she was like, I like that, but I wish it was like being, like I never have to be alone because I have my sister in my life. And I was like, that's a really cute sentiment. It's only 2 syllables and I really need 3. And so we continued to write the song. I was like, but if you find it's like any word with 3 that works, just like let me know. And she comes back like 10 minutes later and was like, I got it. The word is Dasein. And I was like, great, never heard of it. What does that mean? She goes, it's German for being. And I was like, oh, could it be an English word? Also, that's only 2 syllables. And she was like, what if we made it like Daseining? So we made that, her version of the song, and then for my version of the song that I put out, I put traveling because it fit my needs at the time. So this song is called Camille. speak to me in Dutch, you can make it up. When I was 2 and you were 3, oh my chasing me. I refuse to wear my clothes, and you said you're not the boss of me. You are known for your caring ways, to be certified for the deep sea dives. You suffered the cold in Monterey. Life can wait the storm away. You were dancing in the rain. And when the weight that's on your shoulder blades is all that you can feel, no, you'll always feel like home to me, Camille. No, you'll always feel like home to me, Camille. Matching laughs and matching clothes, when it ran, you wipe my nose. You slept on me on long plane rides, and traveling, you'd be my guide. Never traveling alone, always have you by my side. When the weight that's on your shoulder blades is all that you can feel, no, you'll always feel like home to me, Camille. No, you'll always feel like home to me, Camille. All that you can feel, no, you'll always feel like home to me, Camille. No, you'll always feel like home to me. That's the song. That song's called Camille. If you're just joining, my name is Connor Cherland. Cherland. Thanks so much, you guys. I'm Breedlove's featured artist for the month of February. And I'm gonna be doing these live sessions every Thursday for, what time are we at right now? We're at like 45 minutes. Great. I'm gonna be doing this every Thursday for the month of February. So, if you want to come back, meet me this time. I'll play different songs. I'll tell more stories. Would love to interact with more and more people. The guitar that I'm playing is, this is from the new Organic series. This is the signature Concerto E. Concerto is the biggest size, followed by Concert, Concertina, Companion. And it has Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides. It's 14 fret from top to the body. And what else? What else about it? I mean, it's from the Organic series, so if you guys aren't familiar with the Organic series, it's pretty tight. They're affordable guitars made with organic wood that's not clear-cut wood. It's like sustainably harvested, which I was an environmental studies major, so oh, what's up, Jacob? Yeah, I was an environmental studies major, so we learned all about clear cutting and like what are sustainable ways to harvest from a forest. And this guitar is like the first like economic one that's come to market. So that's kind of a really big deal, and I think it's really cool that they're doing it. I think it's really cool that I get to help promote it, and yeah, I'm happy to be the featured artist this month. This is kind of our time. It's like a decent ending point. We're like 50 minutes in. Jacob, do you have anything that you want to ask them? Do you want to bring up how good I am at Super Smash Brothers? For those of you who don't know, my name is Cherland, and I'm pretty good at Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. My mains are Mewtwo and Incineroar, and I'm getting better at Little Mac. And one day I will destroy as Little Mac. If any of you want to try and defeat me, I dare you to try and defeat me in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Hit me up, send me a message. You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, at Connor, C-O-N-N-E-R, Cherland, C-H-E-R-L-A-N-D. I'll have a sign next time. Yeah, you can find me. We can figure this out. We can duke it out online. Yeah, so thanks for hanging out. My Little Mac is not cheese, Jacob. You know, it rocks. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I hope to see you guys next week. And stay tuned for more content from me on the Breedlove page. I just put out a blog post about my very first Breedlove guitar. It was a Passport Dreadnought, mahogany front, back and sides, and it's my main guitar. It's the most perfect guitar in the world, and it's a Breedlove. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon. I have to figure out how to turn all this off.